Boop! Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, July the 7th, 2022. Today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 82, Amos 1 1 through 2 3, James 2 14 through 26, and then Psalm 25. You could have also read Psalm 25 1 through 10, Genesis 41 14 through 36, and end with James again. Those are the complementary texts which complement this Sunday. So if you've got a pastor who preaches from the lectionary, you go hear them preach this summer, you might hear her or him preach from the texts that these complement. You'll be like, it's like you like studied ahead, right? Anyway, I'm going to look at Amos 1 1 through 2 3 and talk about 3 and 4, but not like, you're counting in the beat to a really cool song, although it's kind of counting down to that. What is going on here is Amos is talking about all the nations that surround the kingdom of Israel, specifically the northern kingdom of Israel, because you've read the Bible so many times and you're really up on your Old Testament history, that by this time there's two kingdoms. The kingdom of David and Solomon is now a divided kingdom, and you have the northern kingdom of Israel, which is really most of the tribes of Israel, and then you have the southern kingdom of Judah, which is just like a couple of tribes. And this message from the prophet Amos is really directed towards the northern kingdom. And so he's reading out this litany of judgments against the nations that surround the northern kingdom of Israel. And it's judgments against them a lot about how they go to war, the atrocities of the conflicts that they're in. Not just the fact that they went to war, but how they went to war. That what they did was just gratuitous. It was unnecessary. It was obscene in their violence. It went beyond the bounds of what was necessary. They're selling entire communities into slavery. They're doing these things where it's like they're not just attacking, but it's complete violent destruction of their neighbors. Even genocide perpetrated against pregnant women and their children, yet to be born children, for the sake of gaining territory, right? And God is going to punish, Amos says, these nations by turning them against each other. Is really what you see is like all these nations that, well, they did this, so I'm going to use these people to do this to them. Well, they're all related, like they're all the same people, and basically it's like God's just turning them against themselves, for 3 sins and for 4. In other words, I'm done with you. That's like 3 plus 4 is 7. If you haven't noticed, 7's an important number. So that's what he's counting down to. Let's just say the downbeat's about to drop. Now, if you're in Israel and you're hearing this message, not like currently in Israel, but if you are a person in the northern kingdom of Israel at the time of Amos and you hear this message, I'm sure you would all be like, oh yes, they're just horrible people. And I'm sure as the prophet delivered his message to the northern kingdom, that people, were like, yes, they're just horrible. I'm glad God is finally going to do something about them. But what they didn't realize as they're hearing this message was that the prophet was drawing a target around them. Like the storm clouds were circling, and God was drawing a target around them, and they were the bullseye. Israel was the bullseye. They were too comfortable, or they are too comfortable with their own righteousness in the face of their neighbors. And God is about to shake them up a bit. All the beat's about to drop, the storm clouds have gathered, and the thunder's about to roll. Anyway, that's the DBR for today. Get out, enjoy the day, and we'll talk to you later. Boop.